If you were to go back to your younger self, or maybe the person that's getting ready to go into the restoration business, and you could give advice to a young entrepreneur, what would that advice be?
That is a good question. That's a very good question. Routine.
Mm-hmm.
Build yourself a very healthy morning and evening routine.
Oh yeah. Why don't you go into that a little bit? What's your routine?
You know so I've always had this routine. I get up between 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning because that's my time. And when my kids were little, I'd be sitting in my office and one of them would walk up, and I had a thumb sucker, and he had his little blanket. He'd be dragging on his thumb, and he'd be standing at my door, and I'd be, this is Dad's time. And I'd about face him and go put him in bed. But this morning routine has pulled me out of so many ruts. When I first started SOCOM Restoration, I walked away from my friend's cushioned position that I had for 4 years, and then all of a sudden I found myself waking up, and I'd be sitting on the side of my bed with my hands buried in my face buried in my hands. Got that backwards.
There you go.
And I think to myself, what in the hell have I done? Because it was comfy.
Yeah.
It was easy. I made it hard for myself. And by the end of my morning routine, I was ready to go. So here's how it goes. And it modifies. I'll tell you my routine back at that time.
Okay.
So I would get up, and the first thing I did, I have supplements I take, sure. I would sit down to my desk. We were talking about, what are you grateful for?
Yeah.
Every morning, I would write 3 things that I am grateful for. And then I would look at my goals, and at the bottom of the page, I'd be writing things that I was going to do that day in narrative form. I am Matthew Caldwell. I am going to do this. I am going to do this. It's going to push me closer to my goal. I am going to do this. It'd take up a whole page and a half.
Mm-hmm.
After that, 30 minutes of reading. After that, to the gym. After that, breakfast. After that, Matthew is ready for the world. You can have me. Before I'd walk out the door, I'd look in the mirror, and I'd have some of my goals, things that I wanted. I'd write, I want floods. It'd be right there on my mirror with dry erase. And then I would pound my chest. I am Matthew Caldwell. I get floods. I am Matthew Caldwell. I hit goals. I am Matthew Caldwell. I bring in business. I am Matthew Caldwell. By the end of the thing, I'm pounding and I'm ready to go. And I'm out the door.
Oh, man.
That was my morning routine then. It's modified since then.
This powerful. You know what's crazy about that? High-level individuals, there's carryover to this. You just outlined, minus this part, you just outlined our golden nuggets of how to start the day.
Is that right?
That almost verbatim. Almost verbatim. And
Great minds think alike.
That's how I find truth. When it's a carryover and it happens of successful individuals, and what are they doing? Morning routine. My thing, I like waking up at 4:30, okay? Because nobody else does. And to me, that just that little nugget right there, that I know nobody else is awake, that I'm an advantage. I'm doing something that nobody else is willing to do. And I find solace in that.
That's where success lies. You're willing to do what everybody else is not willing to do. That's the difference between success and mediocrity. Mm-hmm. You are willing to do what nobody else is willing to do.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Rob, why would somebody want to watch this podcast?
Why wouldn't you? We have a good time. You're going to learn something. And by the way, it's awesome. You should click it. You should watch it. Thanks for tuning in.
Subscribe right now.